Pastor, I will never forget when the reality occurred to me that women in our churches are having abortions. They're running from our churches and running to the abortion clinic for a solution to the problems they're facing. I was literally in a pregnancy care center in Raleigh, North Carolina, when the director told me that year alone, 4 women from a conservative evangelical church had come through their center, rejected their help, and gone through with having an abortion. And not only do I work for Love Life, but I am also a pastor. I'm an elder at a local church. And I remember thinking, is this happening in our church? And if it is, what can we do to prevent it from happening? How can we clear the air and remove the obstacles? You see, CareNet did a survey with Lifeway a few years ago and discovered that about 40% of women that had had an abortion did so while they were attending church at least one time a month, meaning they did not consider the church to be a safe place to run to, but instead went to the abortion clinic. And so when you look at that survey, one of the biggest reasons they list there is the fear of being ostracized, gossiped about, kicked out. And so what if we could create a safe place and create what we call houses of refuge all over the United States, where pastors take 2 Sundays out of the year to just clear the air and to say, this is a house of refuge. If you or someone you know is facing an unplanned pregnancy, you don't have to run from us, run to us. You may have made a sinful decision that got you into this position, but being pregnant is not a sin. That child that you carry is a blessing. And so that actually happened in our church. And unknowingly to me, I read the House of Refuge statement on a Sunday morning, and there was a young couple that was attending our church that was not yet married that found out the night before that they were pregnant, and they needed a word from God to know that He was with them. And so I want you to hear Taylor and Mason's story.
So Saturday night, I didn't have my period for a while, so I figured we should go take a pregnancy test. So we did that, waited and waited, and then we got the results and it said pregnant. And that's when shame and scaredness and everything hit.
Yeah, when we were waiting on the test, I was scared of telling my family, friends, and our church, because we were just dating at the time. When I came home that night from being with Taylor and finding out that she was pregnant, my whole family was together having family game night, and I came in and everybody was happy and glad to see me, and I just wanted to go up to my room and hide because I didn't want to tell nobody anything.
So we go to bed that night, and all these thoughts swishing around in our heads, mixed emotions. And then we wake up Sunday. I go to church that Sunday, and Josh starts talking about the House of Refuge and Love Life. And what made it so comforting about what Josh was talking about, he was talking about how unplanned pregnancies and how the women should run to the church instead of an abortion clinic. So that just made me feel comforted that they're not gonna condemn you or throw you out of the church or anything. They're gonna help you through all of it. That's when I decided to talk to Josh and our pastor, Jonathan, and they just really comforted me, telling me everything's gonna be okay.
I'd actually went and bought an engagement ring for Taylor, and I was excited about that. And I showed my mom, and she asked, "Is Taylor pregnant?" And I was like, "Yeah, she is." And she was upset for a little bit, but very soon came around, and we went out to dinner that night after I told her, and my dad gave me a hug and said, "You gotta grow up quick, but congratulations."
Mason proposed, and then we had a month of planning for the wedding, and we got married. Then we started prepping for Sawyer, and then he finally came, and it was just such a beautiful moment.
Going through the process, there's no way I would have been able to do it without supportive people.
So to all the moms that feel like they're in a tough situation, I just want to tell you that you can get through this. So there's people out there that's going to support you through everything, and they're just going to love you.
It's because of churches and families that support these women that they can grow and have their babies and be confident in them.
So, Pastor, you can see there's nothing political about this, and there's nothing harmful about this. There's people that need to be helped in your church, whether they're facing an unplanned pregnancy or someone where they live, work, and play is facing an unplanned pregnancy. You can equip your people to help them. And beyond that, there are men and women in your church who have had an abortion in their past and need to hear you say, you've not committed the unforgivable sin. There's hope and healing for you. And so the invitation from us to you, and you heard it from Taylor and Mason, become a house of refuge. Talk about this with your church family. Let them know that this is a safe place that they can run to, not run from. And give us a rep from your church that we will train to equip your whole entire church to be able and ready to respond when men and women come running to you for help.